podcast. So, today I will be talking about this interview that Andrew Tate and Piers Morgan had. And this is the thing, there were a lot of things and a lot of gaslighting and tiptoe around the question instead of answering the question that went on this interview. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Nothing that Andrew Tate actually said was it felt like he regretted anything that he said before. He just said if he knew that he had a bigger podcast, if he knew that he was gonna blow up, he would have maybe mind the way he said things. Now, with that being said, there is this particular clip that he talked about rap music and gun violence that I want to actually talk about. And I want to ask you ladies to think about who he is talking about. Because the men that are mostly influencing rap music, we know what they look like. And we know about this men that he's talking about. And these are the men that I always tell my ladies to actually stay away from because they do not mean you good, especially if a man is out here full chested, like coming out and telling you he is looking for a servant because it is what it is. It's looking for somebody that he could just, have a sexual contact to and just that is it. And Andrew never took back any of the words that he said. He never took back any of those words. So I'm going to say this. We're going to play this first clip and I'm going to come back with my commentary because it gets deeper. If you watch this interview as a woman, you will get rowdy up because there are many things he says that actually got my blood boiling. And especially when it comes to ownership of a woman, because he actually talked about that. Piers Morgan actually asked him, do you think a woman is a property? And he tiptoed around that particular question and saying, oh, there are parts of the world that women are actually treated that way. But later on saying that he doesn't live in that part of the world. With what is happening in Iran, if you look at what is the protest and the fighting that is going on in Iran because a girl was not putting on her hijab well, she lost her life for that. And for the fact that somebody like Andrew, with knowing the kind of consequences of his words, the kind of way people will carry his words, especially men, young men out here. And I'm going to say this, if you're a man that is watching my podcast and you actually believe in Andrew Tate, you're going to be very single for a very long time. Because this is the thing. This is exactly why you guys are out here having different kind of podcasts talking about women and literally being single and crying later that you are single. With a mindset like this, who would want to be with you? Now, with that being said, this video might not be long, but we're just going to get on to it. So first thing first, I'm going to play this clip of him talking about rap music and this particular issue. And you know who his father is. Let's just, Andrew's dad. We know what he looks like. So no, we definitely know where that mindset actually comes from. Now, with that being said, let me play this particular clip and then we're going to come back. So this is for fair use only and for educational purposes only. So let's just go.
Are fantastic for the economy. And I'm certainly not the worst influence out here, Piers. You have Little Nas twerking on the devil on music videos, which our children are digesting. You have drill artists singing about stabbing people to death in the middle of a knife crime epidemic. You have rabid psychopaths on whether the right or the left announcing violence on the other side. You have all these insanities in the world. And because I sit here and say, perhaps now you've laid it out and it offended you, I understand.
I didn't say it offended.
Okay,
me.
cool.
I just read you the things.
You read things that you said they could be offensive and some people are offended.
Well, some people definitely were offended.
Absolutely. That's fine.
And honestly, I think some of the things you said were genuinely offensive and misogynist.
Okay, so they offended you.
And
like
actually,
like I said earlier, so they offended you,
No,
which
hang
is
on.
fine. I said they offended you. You interrupted me, and now you're saying they offended you, which is fine. And
So you saw that particular clip, and him, like, this guy is the master of gaslighting. Like, the gaslighting is out of hand. The gaslighting is XX69. Do not make me block you. If you ever come back here and post any advertisement, I will block you. Period. Do not make me block you. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. You know what? Let me just get rid of this for now. Let me just get rid of you, because I do not have time for nonsense. Now, with that being said, we're going to go into another topic that he actually said. Now, let's get into this, because this, apart from the whole, rap music thing, it gets deeper. If you watch actually this interview, as a woman, it will get, because he's talking about, I go to feminist podcasts, I talk to. So if you are so involved in looking for feminine women, my question is, why do you have such a problem with feminists? I am not a feminist myself, but why is the feminist women so, it's like many of these men have a problem with feminism. You do know why feminism exists. So let's not act like feminism is just out here and women fighting for something that doesn't exist, for equal rights and equal pay, and having their own opinion in some certain topics does not exist. Feminists did not come out of the air and women started behaving the way they behave. There is a reason why feminism exists. Without feminism, a lot of women wouldn't have a job. A lot of women will still be in abusive relationship. So let's not play with that one. Let's not play with that one. I'm not a feminist, but I will definitely stand by women standing by the truth and actually having the opportunity to actually live a toxic relationship or otherwise, and having the option to think about who they want to date. Who they want to date. Because if a woman would actually turn the table around and say women date only men around the age of 19, you would have men out here crying, especially those ones with their old age that are very misogynist. You would have them with their old age out here crying. See, the table can be turned. This is the thing that men do not understand. The table can very well be turned. And the fact that there are still women that are dealing with a lot of men that are older than them. See, if women want to turn the table and say, I'm not going to date an older man, I'm going to date a younger man that has less baggage, do you think that she wouldn't benefit from that? Because first of all, a lot of women are having a job. A lot of women are working nowadays. They are owning their own. If I'm out here listening to some podcasters talking about a woman have to hold their man, build their man, do you think she couldn't build that 19-year-old boy, guy, man? Do you think she couldn't build the 21-year-old man? Because you think you can do it. If women start doing it, you'll be the first to start crying about women being ageist. This is why when a woman dates a man that is younger, you have people calling her all sort of names out here in Kruger, because they want to shame any woman that ever looks at a man that is even 1 or 2 years younger than her, of a legal age of a relationship, by the way. Now we're gonna go into this, but I have a book here. I had written something about the timeline, so we're gonna talk about this. Do women belong to men? Topic that he had going on, because I want you guys to listen to this. So I'm just gonna go here.
It takes personal responsibility. That's who I am as a person. But we live in a world now with TikTok videos 5 or 6 seconds long. There's no content.
Do you think women are the property?
So, letztens hat sich ein Workshop.
Hold on, people.
Ich habe gefragt.
Don't know why I'm getting ads now. Just hold on. Give me a moment.
Wie kommt ihr an eure Kunden ran? Wie kommt ihr an Neukunden? So, was kommt da?
So we're gonna put it back on because I'm sorry for the ad. You know, YouTube, they always play the ad, so we're just gonna go back in because this is a topic that needs to be had.
Are the property of men?
No, the point I was
Why,
making,
why have you said they are?
because I'm not perfect, male and female, and if you give women the opportunity to destroy men's lives without evidence, there's going to be a contingent of women who will do that. I'm trying to make a balanced and nuanced argument in a world where people have no attention span. They're going to take a few seconds, put it online, decide someone's good or bad, not be interested in the longer format video, and here I am. No, I'm certainly a person who takes personal responsibility. That's who I am as a person. But we live in a world now with TikTok videos 5 or 6 seconds long. There's no content.
Do you think women are the property of men?
No. The point I was making.
Why have you said they are?
Because I made a religious point. I said that when a man marries a woman, the woman's father walks her down the aisle, and hands her away to the man. Traditionally, is what it says in the Bible. I'm a religious person. I believe in God. I live in the
So you do think that the woman becomes the men?
I think she takes his last name.
I mean, let's watch the clip that you said about.
Sure.
So that we can get it in context.
So I think my sister is her husband's property, yes. When a bride is walking down the aisle to marry the groom, the father walks next to her and gives her away. True or false?
I've been married twice, as it turns out, and on both occasions, I didn't believe that the woman was being handed to me as chattel, as property.
Perhaps the way the reason I'm asked that question repeatedly, and I'm asked in a loaded way.
So would you rephrase what you said there?
Now, that's an interesting point.
The gaslighting.
The way I would say things before I was famous, I have to take personal responsibility and accept that if I make a video that 500 people see and 1% of them misunderstand.
Do you notice that this guy never actually answers any question? He just tiptoes around the whole question that he's been asked. Oh, I am a religious person. Oh, I'm this. But okay, you are a religious person. That is your personal life. Do you have to bring it and put it in everybody's face and tell all this young? But you know what? Any man that want to follow Andrew Tate's preaching, I say go for it. But don't be out here crying and talking about you being single, because nobody want to hear your crocodile tears. Because if you have a mindset like this, you deserve to be single. I'm going to say it again. You deserve to be single. No woman should actually pay attention to you. It is what it is. So let's get back.
Understand it. That's not a problem. If I make a video that 5 million people see and 1% of them understand.
So specifically on that point, I think my sister is her husband's property.
She took his last name. She married him. She wanted to join his family. She has said it herself.
Right. So she's
still a sovereign individual.
So she's the kind of
property means that the husband owns your sister.
Listen, my friend, if you want to argue about this, you need to go back to the Bible, to the Quran. You need to argue with religious.
No, I'm not talking about anything in the Bible or Quran.
But that's what it says.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I think that if a woman marries a man and she decides to take his last name, that they have different roles and responsibilities within that marriage. And I believe that's
not the question.
I believe the father. I am. The father hands her.
Don't behave like a politician.
The father hands her to the man.
Right, but don't be a politician, because I think you're a straight talker, right? You keep telling me you're a straight talker. I think my sister is her husband's property. Do you regret saying it like that?
I understand that with my newfound fame, perhaps it could be phrased differently.
Unbelievable.
However, I still believe that a woman is given to the man in marriage. That's what I believe.
Yeah, but not as property.
No, the property is the word that other people use when they ask me the question.
But as an equal partner in a loving union, that's what marriage actually means. It doesn't mean that when you get married, the woman is given to you as a bit of chattel.
Agreed.
So why say it?
But that's the way that people ask me the question. People say to me, they ask the question.
Hang on, you can't blame people for asking you questions. Surely, if you want to be accountable for what you've said, you've got to own your responses, not blame the question.
I own the response.
Like me asking you a question now, and you say something, and then say, well, actually, I blame you for asking.
I understand, Piers. Piers, I understand. I believe the woman is given to the man. I believe she's given away by the father. I believe she belongs to the man.
So fundamentally, you do believe that a woman becomes a man's property.
I believe she belongs to the man in marriage, correct.
Right. You see, that to me is misogyny.
And you're entitled to your opinion.
Right. But do you not understand why people think it is misogyny?
I understand why some people can be very offended by what I say.
Okay, I'm just gonna cut over there. I'm just gonna cut there because the nonsense that comes out of the mouth. Woo! I'm like not in the mood today. I am not in the mood. Yeah, he tries to backtrack, but he doesn't know where to go because he has a lot of some ignorant people actually, supporting him. This is the thing. Although he has closed his university and now I think that he was trying to save face and say what and try to put words that like it is absolutely nonsense. Do you think that your sister is a property? Yes or no? I'm gonna say he thinks a woman is, he even say he thinks a woman belongs to a man in marriage, which in a sense kind of sound like, yeah, you're a property. You are absolutely a property. You have to be owned. You are even there was a point that Piers Morgan actually made, asking him, okay, let's talk about it. Do you have full control of the woman, where she goes and where she doesn't go? And he was like, if she expects me to protect her, if she comes to me, I have the right and authority. Like it sounded like he had the right and authority to tell her what to do and what not to do. And then he talks about a Muslim guy. And I'm like, do you know what the hell is happening in Iran right now? My dude, please. Do you know what is happening? A woman was literally unalive because she didn't wear an hijab well. And because in certain society, women are seen exactly the way you are talking. Some certain society see women as cattle. Some society see women as property. He is trying to not answer the question straightforward. He is trying to tiptoe around the particular every question that Piers Morgan asked this man was like tiptoe. He does not know if he could say yes or no. He's just going back and forth, and like the gaslighting in this video, I'm gonna say it literally. I was watching it and I was like, if it was me, I would have just left the goddamn interview and be like, you know what? Good luck to you and good luck to your mates. Because now that they're crying about the rise of lonely men, you haven't seen it yet. Because if a lot of men have this kind of mindset, and if you're a man that is listening to me and you're single and you have a mindset like this, you're going to be single for a long time. You're going to be single. And this is where the hate for women comes. This is exactly where the hate for women actually comes. Because when men now start behaving in this kind of way, and women start rejecting them, what do you think would happen? They will start hating those women that actually rejected them because they think, oh, you're supposed to be my property. Like, do you understand? I don't understand if this man understand the word divorce, because there are a lot of people divorcing out here because the man is literally out of hand, either cheating or, I'm not saying women don't do terrible things too that actually leads to divorce. I'm just saying majority of the time it's mostly the men. Now we're gonna go back into this because we're gonna go about the next question that they asked him, if he thinks he's endangering women's life by actually spewing all these negative talking points. And you're gonna hear his response. And you think he's trying to backtrack, he's tiptoe. You're gonna hear this particular answer. I'm pretty sure you're gonna be mad. Let's just get into it. What number was it? Okay, let's get into it. Hold on, people. I'm just trying to find the particular clip where he actually talked about this, because this is something that needs to be discussed, because I want every woman that actually comes across my video to actually understand the mindset of any man that is actually listening to this man. Because yes, stay away from them. Stay very far away from them.
We're arguing against it. And I was sitting there actually very much like you, a mediator between the two, explaining why in most of the world.
Do you love Gantt charts?
God,
Here's how
the goddamn hold on a second. Let me just get rid of the ads and then we're gonna go back to this.
easily you can build one in ClickUp. Let's map out the
world still today.
Okay, let's go. Let's get back into this.
Perhaps not in the Western world, virginity is coveted, youth is coveted in most of the world, and throughout all of human history. And I was sitting there making the point, explaining why.
Okay, I'm going to cut him off there because of when he talks about throughout human history. This started, is it 200 years ago? Or maybe if it's do you know the time of the Romans? Did you think they had issues like this? Men talking about it. Even in Sparta, the Spartan women, in the old days, men would even marry women that are older than them. So I don't know when this mindset that, oh, it has been going on for so long, men marry women that are young. No, it has not been actually the law. It has not been written, stamped, and said this is what we've been doing from the dawn of time. No, this is a mindset that actually came later on. This is a mindset, and how this came, he's actually going to explain it. He's going to say, even in those days, if you marry a very young woman, they will tell you to wait until she is of the legal age to actually, that is when it's actually safe enough for her to carry a child. And those were actually royals that were doing that, which does not excuse the nonsense, by the way. It does not excuse the nonsense. But when I hear some men out here talking about, oh, it has been happening from the dawn of time. Like, do you know Genghis Khan? Do you know that the women in his community those days were married to younger men? Should we bring that back? Because yes, it was happening before in Rome, in Sparta, in the BCs. So let's talk about this motion that, oh, men have been marrying younger women. Women have been marrying younger men too. Do we make it the norm? Should we decide to go about that now in this day and age? Because I know a lot of older guys that are single out here that will be single till they drop. If women have to change their mindset and be like, I'm not dating any guy that I'm older than. The tables will turn and you would see like the rise of lonely men is a small thing and they're crying already. Imagine if women would start saying, I'm not dating these older guys that are already older and they have a lot of baggage. I want to date a younger man. Then what? Then what? Okay, let's continue. Let's go.
In certain parts of the world, they think how they do.
Well,
even though it's very different to the Western world. So I was making a point, mediating between two groups very similar to yourself. The conversation has been misunderstood. They've taken this clip of it and it's been weaponized and used against me. I understand that is because I am now the most famous Google person on the planet. It's inconvenient, sure, but I'm definitely not a danger to women in any regard. I date women 25, 26, 27 years old all the time. None of them are offended by the things
I don't think you're a danger to women. I think the danger, if it concerns you, the danger is the influence you have on young men to have this kind of mindset about women. And that's really where I'm trying to get to what you really believe and how much you've just shot off because you think it's like entertaining and you haven't really given it much thought. And whether now you're a bit older and you've had all
He's not older.
Whether part of you is thinking, actually, if I had, as Joe Rogan says, if you hadn't said stuff like this, you'd probably still be on all these platforms. You'd be massively more popular, massively more famous, massively richer. So I'm really just trying to get to, on the blatantly misogynist stuff, do you just wish you hadn't said it?
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, Lord.
It was certainly said before the great power came. It's inconvenient to a degree. However, like I said at the time, with the context of the conversation, I know that I'm not saying things which I believe to be detrimental to the world. However,
but detrimental to women, though.
If a 25-year-old woman was watching this, would you say, I'm sorry for saying that?
Well, I wouldn't want anyone to be offended by anything I say, but I say things. But I say things that offend, and this is the thing that's interesting, Piers. Please let me finish.
Yeah, but you're behaving like a politician. Yeah, but hang on, you could say I'm interrupting.
You do,
but you're answering a different question to the one I asked you. So, as an interviewer, you're
sure. Okay,
you're behaving.
Sure. Okay, let's. Sure.
Okay, you accept that. Let's accept we both got on. Okay. So again, my point is simply, if a 26-year-old woman is watching this and has heard those comments, would you just say to her, "Look, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that"?
No, I won't. I will say that I am sorry that
that's the guy.
However, there's a large contingent of the world.
That doesn't mean you're sorry.
No, I'm not sorry. That's the point I'm making. I'm sorry if that offends you. However, there's a large contingent of the world that believe that, and I was mediating for a conversation.
Parts of the world that believe that about 26-year-old women are parts of the world where women are not allowed out on their own.
That's a conversation.
They have to wear full burqas.
Well, that's a conversation.
They're not allowed to drive cars.
That's nothing to do with it.
But is that the kind of world for women that you?
I was mediating a conversation.
No, I'm asking you what you think.
I don't live in a country where that happens.
You're using that as the excuse for why you're not sorry for saying it.
Exactly.
Because there are parts of the world where this is fine.
My friend,
so my question to you is, well, do you think it's fine?
I don't think it's fine. I live in a world where
You don't think it's fine?
the reason
This isn't that hard, Andrew. You can simply say, Piers, you know what? With the benefit of hindsight, I wish I hadn't said it like that. And if a 26-year-old woman's watching, I'm sorry I said that, because that actually is blatantly misogynist. And even though that's a view held by other parts of the world, it's not a view I share. Now, I would respect you more if you said that than if you try and say, well, it's said in other parts of the world, so I'm not sorry.
I think
that doesn't tell me what you think.
Then you need to understand why my content existed in the first place. My content exists.
Okay, I don't care about why this man content existed in the first place. I don't give a rat ass. I'm just gonna say it. I don't give a rat ass about how, like, he does not want to apologize for what he said because he stands by it. He thinks every woman should be wearing a burqa out here. He thinks men having total control of women. He doesn't need to say it out louder than the way he's saying it. He believes that. That is what he believes. That is what I think he believes. He's saying he's using the part of the other part of the world as an excuse. A very stupid excuse, by the way. It makes no sense. Like, make it make sense. Mary Milk, I don't know why he's acting all kind. Yeah, I know. But the fact that he's using other part of the world that women are literally protesting right now, crying, has lost a lot of their lives, and using them as an example and saying, oh, I was talking about these women. So you actually believe that the women that you live, oh, I don't live in a society like that. But if you would have the power to turn this society into what those other women are dealing with over there, you would absolutely do it. That is what I think. I think that's my thought. That's my opinion. I think that he would absolutely turn the first world countries or other countries that do not have laws like that, he would turn all the women into properties. That's what I think. That is my own opinion. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Please like and subscribe. Do not forget to like and subscribe. Press that like button. It definitely helps this channel. Now, with that being said, with a mindset like this, I'm going to say this, ladies, look out for men like this. They come in every color, in every kind of form. Now, the rise of lonely men is not there because all men are out here being gentlemen and being nice. It's out there as a caution, as a sign of danger because of the kind of things that men are actually feeding themselves with, especially podcasts, or like podcasts held by men like this. He is right. He never, I mean, the whole of the podcast, the whole of the interview, I listened. He never actually answered a question straight on. He tiptoed on every question that he was asked. Absolutely tiptoeing, not answering it direct. Oh, that was another guy. If they asked him another question, oh, another guy asked me this question. Oh, we should go blame the person that asked you the question then, Mr. Tate. Oh, it was another world, another part of the country. They actually made women. It sounds stupid out here. It sounds absolutely nonsensical. That is what I think. That's my opinion. He's not giving a straightforward answer. What do you think? You literally did call your sister a property by everybody seeing that particular interview. He said, no, by marriage. By my how? A property is a property. A slave is a slave. It is what it is. Let's just cut it out there. And the other part where they asked him, he said, if a woman wants me to protect, I have to have, all it is my responsibility. And also to make the narcissistic behavior is just pissing me the F up. Like, no, I am not here for it. I am not. It's absolutely delusional. And this is what some young men are feeding themselves with, literally listening to, and then expecting a woman that is of sound mind to come out and date them. Like, who is gonna be crazy enough to be with you after you done listen to a narcissistic person like this and then take on his words and behave that way, and you expect a self-respecting woman that actually does have value for herself to actually want to be in any kind of relationship with you? It is nonsensical. Now, with that being said, yeah, gonna send him to Afghanistan. There was one particular part. He said he saved a lot of men. He did say, he said with his podcast he had saved a lot of men. I said, where did you save them from? From war? Were they in war, in the middle of war, and you flew on a helicopter and rotated helicopter over there and actually saved them? Because I'm not understanding. Or your savior mentality is around women. Oh, you save them from women. Is it all about women, saving them from being decent human beings and not thinking of women as a property? Were you saving them from the middle of an earthquake, or from the middle of a tsunami, or from the middle of a war? No, you are just saving them from women, from them being actually nice people, actually understanding, sympathetic to women, actually listening. No, you're saving them from being good people. So that is all for today, ladies. Now, with that being said, I'm going to say this. Please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And I will see you all on the next one. Have a great day and goodbye. Don't forget to press that like button before you leave. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you all on the next one.